Okay, we're going to start off by drawing a circle for the eye in the top right hand corner, and then we're going to put a little circle inside it, and when we colour it in black we can see that it is like the light reflecting off of the shiny eyeball. Once you've filled that in, you don't have to do it now, you can do it later. We're going to draw the rest of the eye by doing a U shape over the top, and then a U shape underneath. And this is going to be coloured in blue. We're then going to do the side of the beak. We're going to do a little line like that, and then the bottom half of the beak like so, perhaps a little longer, and perhaps I'll do it a little taller, make it an even bigger beak. Okay, we're then going to draw our big beak all the way from the top across to the edge of the page in one long arc. Like so, to give the toucan his big beak. And we're going to take the point at the bottom here and bring it together into a sharp point. So now we're going to draw the line that divides the two parts of the beak from where these two lines come together. Like so. We're going to add some detail to the beak by drawing a loopy line going from here into the top of the beak, and that will be coloured in black later on. We're also going to draw a line mirroring the line here and a matching line down here, and that is our beak completed. We're now going to draw the back of the head coming up from the top of the beak, going round to about there. Now I've done the top of the head there a little bit large. If you do it a little bit less of a forehead, it might look a little bit better, but I will stick with my shape for now. Okay, we're now going to do a line from the bottom of his head off of the paper to show where his wings are. We're then going to do the front and his belly by following on from the beak and then coming down in a curvy line and giving him a big belly off of the page at the bottom. We're then going to give him a design on the face. So we're going to start just below his beak. We're going to go round his eye, all the way around in a curvy line to give him a section that will be white when we've coloured everything in. And then we're going to take where his beak joins in the two parts, and we're going to pull a line under his eye to that point there. We're now going to draw the wing shape by using an upside down U. We're going to go from the bottom of the page, we're going to go up and then down, coming off of the page. And we're then going to go from about halfway up, we're going to do some feather shapes, kind of like waves. And we're going to continue to do those up the wing. Doesn't matter how many you do, just so that they look like wings. You can pause the video if you are taking more time. We're then going to do long lines down from the waves off of the page, because these are the toucan's flight feathers, long ones that allow them to fly. We're now ready to add some background foliage, some jungle, some rainforest, and we're going to use some spiky shapes to form some spiky leaves, like palm tree leaves. So we're going to do a nice big line from the toucan's tummy all the way up, and then we're going to go back down, making it a little bit wider as it returns. We're going to do another one at the top of his beak, and we're going to make some of it hide behind the beak. So we're going to draw a little spiky shape above, and then we're going to trace round where we imagine it would go behind his beak for it to then continue, and we're going to do it as an S curve. So it's a little bit curvy coming out, because that adds a little bit more interest. I'm going to do two more, one coming from here as if it's going off of the page, so it doesn't have to go particularly spiky, and one from the back of his head going again off the page. So we're going to have 4 sets of leaves. We're now going to add some leaves to the stems using the same spiky shape, and we're going to start at the end. We're going to go out and in, and we're going to make them a little bit longer as we go. You might want to pause this as you get to grips with the shape. See, mine are getting longer. That one was a bit short, wasn't it? That was a bit of an error. I might make that a little bit longer, and hopefully it won't show up too much when we've coloured it in. Mistakes are fine. Mistakes show us that we're trying hard and we can improve. So this next one, I'm just going to have a little bit here, and then the spike coming out from behind his body. For the other side of the leaf, we're going to get the leaves to curve in a different direction. Again though, the spiky shape getting a bit bigger. They don't have to be equal or opposite to the ones on the other side. But it's going to make a really good rainforest background. Let them fall off the page. That one didn't go very spiky, did it? I have to change that. Again, another mistake, but we're learning. And I'm going to continue and do the same leaves on the other 3 stems. So you might want to pause, and I'll probably fast forward this so you don't get too bored. I'm now ready to colour my toucan in, and you can use coloured pencils like I have here. You can use oil pastels, wax crayons. So these are some artist's wax crayons that I've found in my house, and I'm going to use black for the body, orange for the beak and around the eye, yellow for the beak, green for the foliage. Don't go too dark because you don't want it too similar to the black. Blue for around the eye, and red also on the beak. So we're going to start off by using the yellow to colour in the beak. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to try and keep within the area of the beak. We're going to be blending the colours by going over the top. So this is all going to be yellow. This is the most tricky part of colouring in this toucan. Try and keep your crayons sharp. If you're using wax crayons, you can sharpen them with a pencil sharpener, as I've done here. You end up with lots of colourful sharpenings. And you colour the beak in. And then you get hold of your orange and you want to go over the top for most of the bottom half of the beak, and then round the outside edges for the top of the beak, as you can see here. Okay, everyone see that? So I've got the yellow, and then I've got some orange. I haven't pressed very hard with the orange because now we're going to add some red. And we're going to add the red here on the bottom half of the beak, not going quite as far as I did with the orange. And then we're going to do a really thin line of orange on the top line and then the bottom line. And then to blend it all together, we're going to go back to use the yellow, and we're going to go over, and it will help blend the colours, particularly if you're using oil pastels or wax crayons. So I've continued and I've finished blending my beak with the red and the orange and the yellow by putting the yellow over the top, and the red lines and the orange lines mould together. It looks a bit like fire. Really nice bright colour. Black for the end of the beak. Trying to get rid of as many of the white sections as possible. Little circles are the best. And make sure you haven't got anything underneath your paper to cause any lines to come out. I then used my blue to go around the eye, and the orange around the blue. And then I can go back to my black, and being careful not to have my hand go over anything that I've already coloured, I can now colour in the black sections of the toucan before I do my foliage in the green. Try and blow away any loose bits. I've ended up with a little speck of blue here, which is a little bit annoying, but I will use a rubber in a moment to get rid of that. Remember, I ended up with a high forehead. I'm going to have to keep my high forehead, but any mistakes you made at this point with your black pen, if you decided to use black pen instead of pencil, you can quickly go over with the black crayon or pastel. So he's got a black head. As I said, little circles work well when you're doing a little section, and then big circles work really well when you're doing a large section. And then I'm going to colour in the wing, but I'm then going to perhaps either leave a space where I've got my waves, or if you've got a white crayon or pencil, you can add it back in using the white. Whichever you think works the best. And then doing the lines for the flight feathers. Again, I'm just going to leave a little bit of white. And I'm going to colour in the direction of the flight feathers. Now time for colouring in the background. I hope you like my toucan. I've enjoyed doing it, and I look forward to seeing your versions of this toucan.